Hello there, and welcome to everyone on this Testy Tuesday. Ready to put your brain to work? Yep, you got to do that. Also, you better get a coat on. Look, got my light jacket on because it's 51 degrees out right now. Man, it's chilly, especially for this time of year, but it feels kind of refreshing as well. We're into the book of Isaiah once again for our Old Testament lesson, and the book of Isaiah contains something. Well, that something it contains is more than any other book in the Bible. Yep, the book of Isaiah contains something more than any other book in the Bible. And I want you to try to figure out what that is. Are you ready on this Testy Tuesday? Number one, it contains more feminine images of God, of Yahweh, than any other book of the Bible. Number two, it contains more horrible images of divine retribution against those who oppose Yahweh than any other book in the Bible. Number three, it contains more images of God's peaceful kingdom that harkens back to the Garden of Eden. And number four, it contains more promises of the complete restoration of Israel to prosperity and prominence among the nations. My chickens, I don't know if you can hear them in the background. They think that's the right answer. All right, let's go over those four things once again. What does Isaiah contain more of than any other book in the Bible? One, feminine images of God, of Yahweh. Two, horrible images of divine retribution against those who oppose Yahweh. Three, images of God's peaceful kingdom that harkens back to the Garden of Eden. And number four, promises of the complete restoration to prosperity and prominence of Israel among the nations. So to get the Jeopardy music out and see what you can come up with. Okay, are you ready? Before I give you the correct answer, I want to just let you know that all of those answers I just gave you actually are true. Okay? True in the sense that they all occur in the book of Isaiah. But which one contains more of those images than any other book in the Bible? The correct answer is the first one, feminine images of Yahweh. And we have that going on in our text that we have coming up for this coming Sunday. We're looking at Isaiah, the 66th chapter, and we're going to look at verses 10 through 14. Now, what's interesting, though, about chapter 66 is that it's got a real mix of stuff in it. It talks about divine retribution in there. It talks about God basically wiping out all those who oppose him. And that's kind of harsh language. But what we have right in the middle of it are these images of a loving, caring God that are made to come alive in the life of the people through feminine images of how God relates to us. So let's take a look at that real quickly. Now, the verses that we have coming up, okay, maybe we should take a step backwards and realize that what's going on in this part of Isaiah is the people have come back from being carried off into exile into Babylon. Now they've returned because the Persian Empire is in control, and they said, you can go on back home and you can get your act together back there. Okay, so they do that, but it's just a mess. The land is ruined. The city's destroyed. It's still in total destruction from when the Babylonians had come in and wiped them out. Nothing has changed. And the people are tired. They feel hopeless. They feel like God has completely abandoned them. And why are they even bothering coming back here? Probably would have been better off staying back in Babylon. All right. So that's what we have going on here. I have little gnats zapping me here, so kind of kind of bear with me here if you see me swatting them away from time to time. So what do we have here? We get to verse 10 where it says, hold on, Israel, basically. Rejoice with Jerusalem and be glad for her, all you who love her. Rejoice with her and joy, all you who mourn over her, that you may nurse and be satisfied from her consoling breast, that you may drink deeply with delight from her glorious bosom. In other words, hey, good things are going to happen. I haven't abandoned my people, Israel. So just hang in there. Trust. It's going to happen. And let's just go on a little bit further. For thus says the Lord, I will extend prosperity to her like a river. Remember? I talked about that as one of the possible answers. And the wealth of the nations like an overflowing stream. Wealth of the nations like an overflowing stream, meaning their wealth is going to be transferred back into Israel. Whoa. Okay. And you shall nurse and be carried on her arm and dangled on her knees. In other words, Jerusalem is going to be the center of all this activity. And there's all this feminine imagery given to Jerusalem. Wait a minute. Isn't it supposed to be given to God? Aha, just wait. As a mother comforts her child, so I will comfort you, and you shall be comforted in Jerusalem. So now all of a sudden, all that imagery transfers over to Yahweh, to God. You shall see, and your heart shall rejoice. Your body shall flourish like the grass. Ah, so there are these words of hope given in the midst of awful stuff, but there's the realization throughout the book of Isaiah, especially in this last portion of Isaiah, chapters 55 and onward, often called Third Isaiah because it's another prophet whose words are included in the entire book of Isaiah. There is the recognition and the realization that things aren't quite right yet, and that it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the people. How you like that? I got a new set of eyes right here. How you like that? That's the way the sun is shining through the trees right now. It is a beautiful day, and even though it's cold and I'm chilly, I know it's going to be a nice warm afternoon. So maybe time to go for a swim, right? Just as the people returning from exile find nothing but destruction and devastation all around them, they're given the promise that there are better times, better days ahead. God's blessings be with you on this Testy Tuesday, and hopefully you got the right answer. And think about it. All those feminine images of God, more of them found throughout the book of Isaiah than any other book of our Bible. God's blessings be with you.